How are you? Last session of the day. All tired? Yeah, a little bit. So, success stories, Pop Corny and FlyCraft. My name is Luca. I am a BlackBerry developer evangelist for BlackBerry. And we also have Charilaos Kalogirou. Wow, okay. And today we are going to tell you a story about, how a developer could port his games to BlackBerry, to the BlackBerry platform, and how he did it, and what happened, and whether he was successful or not, but he was. And so let's start with the first one. So first of all, there was a game, and this guy created Pop Corny, really addictive game, but there was a big problem. So no BlackBerry love. That was bad. And so he published for iOS, and great game, very addictive, and fortunately, developers love to blog, love to say how I did it, what I did, and in particular, Harry published a post about how to port his iOS game to Android. And so it was very interesting, and it described 1 month in hell, because lots of problems. It took 1 month, and the good thing is that we saw it. We saw that post, and this is a story of Evangelist, really, because I got an email since I mostly work for Italy and Greece, Turkey, and I got an email from a colleague saying, "Hey, did you see this post?" I said, "Well, no, I didn't. Let me read it," and it was very interesting. We wondered, okay, how long will it take to port the same game to our platform? So we just asked. I sent an email to him and said, okay, why don't you port it to, at that time it was August, so we first tried to convince him to port the playbook, to the BlackBerry playbook. And the point is, Harry was, okay, let's do that. We seeded the playbook, so he could try, he could test it. And the good thing is that 20 days after the first email and 2 days after it started working, it was ready. It was ready for the playbook. So he posted another blog post describing how he did it. And the good thing was it just took 2 days. 2 days against 1 month. That's great. So we were very happy. He was happy. So a great story to tell, So finally, Pop Corny was available for the BlackBerry playbook. So everything happened in just 1 month, probably. That was really interesting, because we could see how easy it was to port a game to our platform. We already knew that, but he didn't. So he also could discover the potential of a new platform that probably he never thought of, but he will tell you more later. So let's see this game. Do you know, how many of you know this game? No one. Wow, wonderful. Okay, so I will leave the demo to Harry. Okay, so that was my stuff.
Okay, I
go ahead.
It. So let me show you. So the main purpose of the game is to feed Mr. Corny, which is that yellow monster, popcorn. So what you do, corn seeds come around, and you try to shoot it so that he can eat it. This basic concept, by doing this kind of reverse shooting technique, tends to be very addictive. You collect coins that are drachma coins, and if you know, drachma was the coin we had before euro in Greece, and I hope we don't get it again. So this is the basic technique. You can collect drachma coins and then later on use it in a store inside the game to purchase add-ons for Mr. Corny and unlock new stages that you can see here. There are a lot of things that you can use, and also stages to unlock like this, where you have special powers and stuff. And this was the game that Luca originally saw in iOS and Android, and we ported it to...
So now it's working. At first he ported it to Playbook, and then he ported to BlackBerry 10. Now it's ready, available for sale on BlackBerry World. And when is he dying? Can you show it? What happens if you don't shoot the coins?
Well, yeah, if corn don't get hit, it reaches at you.
So if you
don't have sound, I don't know.
No,
why.
we don't have sound. No, I don't know why. Anyway.
It sounds familiar.
Okay. So this is the first one. This is the first one, the first game, and behind the scenes. So I'll leave, to you to describe what you did, and then we will switch back to FlyCraft. That is the second one. Just this one to go at.
So, Pop Corny was a game developed as a native application initially on the iOS, and is coded in C++. I don't use a ready-made game engine like Unity or something, or Marmalade that is now on BlackBerry, but I have created my own game engine that I ported for mobile. I do all the rendering with OpenGLES, I do sound with OpenAL, and I have created an API that I use exposed through Lua to create the gameplay code. All these systems work very well on iOS, and not so well on Android, and very well on BlackBerry devices. Porting from iOS to Android wasn't that easy. It seems that the design decision to use Java as the main language of the platform gets in the way of creating games. Things are getting better there, but still are not very well, or not very good. The NDK from Google is written over Java in most of the parts. So even though underneath Android is a full POSIX Linux system, you don't have access to it. You have to go through interfaces, through interfacing Java with JNI, and things can get very hairy in that situation. I was really cut out of the blue that there is no OpenAL support in Android. The OpenGL system has problems, at least had problems, with losing its context. When your application goes to the background and you come again, you have to recreate your context, and there are only hacks that you can do that. In the new versions, this is not so bad, but on Android there is no new version actually. When you deploy something, you can see even the most old version being still out there in big percentages. Also, on Android, there is a very unpredictable threading architecture. You will realize that every single thing that happens most of the times comes from a different thread that you expect. Game engines usually don't like that. At least we design them in a way that doesn't expect that to happen. For example, the ideal thing for us is to have a main game loop and pull events from there. On Android, a single touch event can come in a different thread. You have a different main thread, a different OpenGL thread, and you have to synchronize all that. My engine didn't expect that. I have to refactor all that, create queues, and that was one of the main reasons that it took so long. Fragmentation, as I said before, is a huge problem on Android because of devices and OS versions. Not a lot of people upgrade to the last version of the OS, either because they don't want to or because they can't, because their providers don't allow. There were initially problems with bugs. For example, the most common way to do sound on Android is the sound pool object class, which even when I wrote the game Pop Corny, was buggy in one of the most popular devices at the time, the Samsung S3, which had a dual-core processor and there was a race condition in it. So actually, when this device came out, all the games that were actively on the store stopped working. And the developers had to go in and reroute around the sound pool and do some other stuff. It was very frustrating. Many of them, big players, got one-star reviews because of this. I told you before, there are no true native interfaces for accessing the OS. You must go through JNI for most of the things. And this took me 1 month to do on a game engine that was initially created to be portable. It was not an engine that was not supposed to be ported. Also, another bad thing was that from Greece, you cannot publish paid applications. So I had to go with ads, which didn't turn out to be very profitable. Going from iOS to BlackBerry now, which is the most interesting part. It took me only 2 days to do it, since I got the playbook from BlackBerry. Even if it was actually, in a lot of cases, beta software at that time, the system was very well structured. It is a POSIX system. It doesn't pretend not to be. It gives you all the things that you might expect from a POSIX platform. If you want to open a file, you just open it. You don't go through a series of classes, and you can map it in memory, access it whatever you want. It will just work. Just you expect it as a native developer. BlackBerry designed gives you access to everything through this native interface. There are no things where you have to just use Cascade, for example, to do event processing. Even Cascades uses the lower level native interface that we're interested in games. In-app payment service is also offered in native code, which I didn't expect. And Scoreloop is also can access with C code. The problem here was that with the release of the BlackBerry device, we had 2 Scoreloop versions. Then I have to support both because the API changed from one to the other. So, some numbers.
Yeah. That's
Can I get it from here?
that's the great part. So, you know, at the end, when you are a developer and you want to be successful, it could be for fun, but you know, you need to make money. And this is the point. After 2 weeks on Google Play, $5. After 2 weeks on BlackBerry World, that's a bit different. did you get it? You know, the point is that we keep saying that the developers on average on BlackBerry world make more money. That's something that lots of developers tell us. We know that because there are different reasons. First of all, our users are more willing to pay. So if something is good, it works well, it's cool, they pay for it. And the other point is there is also, you know, there are revenues that are not direct revenues, but are costs that you are saving. So if it took 2 days against 1 month, you saved a lot of time. That's another important point. So this is, you know, this was great. And since Harry was really happy about, you know, the results, okay, one more time, let's do another, let's create another game. Greek Love Phase 2. So there was a competition. You know, if I say something wrong, just correct me. So there was a competition. The competition was, this is a popular website for game developers, right? And there was a competition. Okay, create a game in 1 month and make a buck. So the point was, what is the platform where I can actually make a buck just immediately? And also, I just have 1 month, so I need to create something that can be easily created for that platform. So, you know, the good thing, and we were very happy about that, so they decided to create the new game just for the BlackBerry Playbook. Because, you know, it's a platform where you can actually make a buck these days. That was, you know, the previous experience with Pop Corny was, you know, fundamental. I don't think that you would ever thought of publishing something for exclusively for Playbook without the previous experience. So
the thing was, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
That even when I did the port and I see the results, everywhere I posted about it, everybody was like, "Do it for BlackBerry? Why?" There's no meaning in that, and that's an ignorance that I think I shared before doing it. So it's something that people should know, that BlackBerry is a platform that you can make a buck.
Definitely. So that was the reason for the choice. And here is FlyCraft. So this was the new game developed in 1 month, and you know, why for BlackBerry only? So I leave again to you.
So after seeing the reception of Pop Corny on BlackBerry, I decided to make another game for the platform. This decision came from the idea and the reaction I saw from the BlackBerry community. First of all, BlackBerry supports indie developers. I saw that firsthand, and in a time where other companies like Apple, for example, are starting to shift away from that and not supporting it. For example, lately the iOS new releases has gone away from the App Store, so this is very hard to get noticed if you don't have a big marketing budget now. Your 1 minute publicity has gone there, so things are very hard. I needed a platform where there is low fragmentation. It's true that Android is out of the question, okay, but on iOS today there is fragmentation on screen sizes, devices. You have to support many of these things that combined are a lot of combinations. So the BlackBerry Playbook was only one device. I could focus on that and do it in 1 month. I also knew that there was lower piracy, since in contrast to what I saw in Android and iOS. and there was an enthusiastic audience. It seems that BlackBerry users are very fond of their devices, and if you give them something good for this device, they will really love you. I like that. I want to build on it. So I did the game on the same game engine that Pop Corny runs on, and I had some little problems with the new device because obviously this is a very new software and it has problems. The basic problem I run into is the OpenAL, which in BlackBerry 10 and Playbook continue to mix the sounds even in the background. When you background the application, the threads don't stop to work, which is not something that happens on iOS, for example. And I expected that to happen. I had some problems because when you submit an application and works in the background, it doesn't pass the certification. You have to give up the CPU. This was done behind my back. There is currently no solution to that. I had to use the lower level QNX system to find out what threads OpenGL is launching and pose them. So another problem I had with this 1 month is that I cannot get the stack traces, and there's no easy way to distribute to beta testers, which was already difficult in 1 month.
Yeah.
So there's not
So,
much
yeah.
to say.
This slide, says it all. The point was, okay, Pop Corny was great, but FlyCraft was even much better. The results were impressive, and people are still. I still keep also talking with my colleagues, and we keep, playing and trying to become number one, but it's really difficult. I think it's time probably for a demo, yeah. And so Harry will let you see. Okay, should be this one. Yeah. I don't know why it's. Yeah.
So the purpose of the game is to create FlyCraft, an airplane for Mr. Herbie, so that he can fly. He's a male ladybug, but he is too bored to fly with his own wings. So you're given a choice of objects and gadgets that you can use here, that you can place inside the game and orient them in any way you like to create your own craft. After you think that your design is flyable, you press go, and then you launch your gadgets, and you crash. The purpose is to get as far as possible, so you go back, that was much better. And you can waste all day doing that, back and forth.
I can assure you that our users are loving that. I keep getting BBM by my colleagues. How do you do this? How do you do that? So you can easily, change all the stuff that you.
Yeah, there are wheels, there are wings you can put on. Propellers, and a few more gadgets that are coming in the next update. That
up to your fantasy,
wasn't possible to
imagination. And so I think it's all. We just wanted to show you, a story of, first of all, a story of evangelism. So how we work, how we in BlackBerry work to get developers on board, to let them know how powerful our platform is, how easy it is to bring your own code, whether it is a game or an application. And this is, in this case, it was very successful because you also offer developers a new opportunity that probably they were ignoring. That's the point. So we are very happy in BlackBerry that we now have Ari on board. At the same time, Ari is very happy because he discovered something new that could be, a good opportunity for him. So that's a win-win deal, That's all. So, any question? Wow, wonderful.
The first one is, what's the revenue model of this last game?
So what is the revenue model of FlyCraft?
Yeah, only microtransactions?
No, it's a paid game.
It's a what?
It's a paid game.
So you don't pay extra for...
No.
How much did you charge for it?
It is $199, and depending on the country you are,
Okay, and what's the revenue share with BlackBerry? 70-30?
70-30, yeah.
30%.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's as easy as that. It's a game. You want to enjoy it, you pay. That's easy.
And how much did you make?
How much did you make? We didn't put it in the slide. I
We
don't
didn't put it
know.
in slides. We're going to give some mystique around it, but it did a lot more than Pop Corny.
So
yeah.
Pop Corny was in 2 weeks mostly 1,200 euro, no, dollars. Was euro dollars?
Dollars. Yeah.
Dollars. It's a lot more than that.
When you do an update of the game,
Sorry.
when you do an update of the game, new feature, does a user that already bought the game, does he have to pay another those to?
No, please. I couldn't get your question.
If,
So if you update the
Yeah.
game and add a new feature,
Yeah.
okay.
Does the user that already bought the game, does he get the
Ah,
update?
okay. So if you are asking whether a user who already bought the game gets an update for free or he has to pay again. Okay.
Yeah, that is up to the developer to decide. On FlyCraft, it's free. Every update is free. You pay once.
So
But-
BlackBerry has an option to the developer to decide
Yeah.
which way to go.
This option is not available on the other stores I have worked with.
There is also an in-app purchase option that developers can use. Many developers are using that, and it's up to the developer. There are options. You can choose whether which one fits better with your model, or, with your strategy.
What countries did you make available for the game?
Sorry, what?
What countries? In which countries?
It's available in all countries.
Countries, all countries, yeah.
All countries, and which was the most important country?
Canada and the UK. Canada and the UK.
Canada and the UK?
But this is mostly information before the launch of the BB10 and the Z10. It's only on Playbook what I talked to you about, because we will have that info now.
In general, Canada and UK are very big for BlackBerry also. So.
I have a question about Android market and BlackBerry world. You said about 2 weeks, from $3 and 1,000 and something.
2 weeks for Pop Corny. Yeah, it took 2 weeks to earn something like $1,200. Yeah.
And my question is, how does it look after the longer time period?
What was the revenue after a longer?
After a month or 2 months, this proposal of
So you are asking whether there was a continuous, the rate was the same for purchases.
Well, yes. I think that Pop Corny and FlyCraft are special cases in this thing, but you don't see that initial spike you see on other platforms and then it dies out. However, that spike, that can that be on Android when it was $5? In any way, because of the smaller competition, this phase out is much smoother on BlackBerry world than what it is on other platforms. But most of the things, because Pop Corny got very popular among the BlackBerry users, it was already a lot of times coming up again, and it was not like what I have experienced on iOS, for example, where the biggest day was the first day.
And how is Luca like after 3 months? There's a big down or something like that?
Well, that is not so easy to tell because it depends. For example, now when FlyCraft came out, Pop Corny was doing even better than it did when
It launched.
when I launched, because of the publicity and the media coverage of FlyCraft, which was made by the guy that did Pop Corny, and it's all about that. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Do you grab everything yourself in FlyCraft?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
it's rare for me to see programmer who can draw the Alder asset and grab the audio.
Excuse me,
Also,
say again?
Do you grab every asset in the FlyCraft?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's rare for me to see programmer who can do that.
No, a lot of the graphics, the graphics and sounds were created by Thanasis Lightbridge.
Okay. Also,
No.
If you
is
don't
there
mind.
any plan in the future for BlackBerry to support even more in the developer?
Well, we are working very hard to have all the major cross-platform, all the major cross-platform engines to be supported. So, in general, we really love developers to create games for our platform, and we are doing the best that we can to bring more and more developers to our platform. Definitely.
I have a couple of questions, more questions. First one is, did you get promoted on the carousel sometime at those conferences on Canada and the UK? On the most?
Yes, a lot of times.
You were?
Yeah.
It depends on how well an application is doing, you know. So.
You got there.
Yeah, yeah.
You got promoted.
A lot of
Yeah,
times.
a lot of times, yeah. You know, sometimes it was taken off, I think. Other times, was again
And
there.
it usually
so,
lasts about a week, from what I have experienced. If you get
So
off,
if,
you get off in a week.
If our team in Upward sees that there is a traction, then they try to push it even more, and so that's normal. That happens to all the games and applications that are popular.
And I assume that you got spikes on downloads when you were promoted, right?
Yeah, it's about 6 times, 7 times more than normal rate.
Now, the conclusion is, I have a lot of applications on the BlackBerry world, but none of them is spec. So I know taxes are very different from country to country, but how was in your case? You got, I don't know, $1,000. So the BlackBerry card is 300, your card is 700. How did you get that money to freeze?
You are getting paid through BlackBerry. You're not getting paid for from each customer like it's on Google, for example. So
Okay.
they are charging the local VAT, and they deduct all that, which is, I think, the reason why, for example, the prices were higher in the UK from the US, for example. So you
Depends on-
basically get the same thing with 5% up or down from every sale you make.
Because VAT is different in each country, so that's the reason. Any other question?
Any other questions?
Go and download these games now.